Hi, so today I'm going to talk about this book called Father by Prince Gautam. I have read quite a few self published books before this, and this one is also a self published book. And though it is a work of fiction, it gets as close to reality as possible. So, this book at large explores the relationship of a father. So, we begin from the relationship of the grandfather with his son, who is the father of our main lead, and at the end, our main lead becoming a father himself to his son. And it explores this relationship in a background which is full of roller coaster and full of emotional turmoil, which makes it quite a heavy read. So, coming from an abusive background can be self deprecating not only on a personal level but also on a societal level. So, this book mainly highlights the constantly changing family dynamics when something happens in a family, both in a good way and in a bad way. The most positive thing which I found in this book is our main lead in the book has all these hard hitting moments of emotions in the family, and he learns something from learns tough lessons from those tough moments instead of just going into that dark cocoon of depression. And the most relatable content which I found in the entire book was the setting of a joint family, which is quite traditional in Indian society from many centuries. And but now this new generation has chosen to live separately in a nuclear family rather than adjusting to the members in a joint family and learning a thing or two from the elders and being respectable to elders in the family and eating together, staying together in peace, uh, and everything. And this book has that setting which is ingrained in the content of the book and which I found quite relatable and interesting as well. The one thing which I would like to point out to the author directly, though, is the grammar of the language which is used in the book, and which is all red flags to the grammar Nazis. And I would love to give a piece of advice to the author. As you are an Indian, you have that advantage of choosing your mother tongue over Western languages, and that way you can express your own emotions purely and without trying to translate all of that stuff going on in your mind in another language or in a foreign language. But I personally got every scent of what the author was trying to convey to the reader, and that's what matters, right? At the end, the goal is understanding the book. Nevertheless, the book digs deeper into the story or the relationship of an alcoholic father to his son, the main lead, and when the main lead himself becomes a father, and it further explores the relationship of him as a father to his drug addict son. And what I mean by exploring this role is because of all those complications and expectations and complex relationships with family members and outside at work, it can take on a mental level of a person, and also the person cannot express his feelings outright to his own closed ones because usually and rightly so, the role of a mother is considered quite important, as a mother or a woman in a family is the main backbone, uh, under whose guidance or under whose cornerstone the whole family stands. So, the role of a father and exploring that side of the mental side of the role of the father was quite a courageous decision. I feel that the author has taken quite a good decision to write a whole book on that role. And I like that the author chose to write on a relationship which is quite complicated in overall society, and that is the role of a father, because the pressure of the society on the father is so much that the father has to earn and also take care of the family at the same time, and this role is quite often taken for granted or neglected on a societal basis as a whole. And I think that exploring this role in a book entirely a book based on that role was quite a brave and a courageous decision from the author's side. Speaking about this book from a writing perspective, I think that the author has nailed the art of imagination and has explored this family dynamics wherein one wrong decision of a family member can impact the whole familial ecosystem and the generations before and after to come. And this is quite often neglected and not so emphasized upon as a topic, and this should be talked often in a society where we live in today's times. The book is fast paced and really gets it going in the side of character development and the progress of the storyline. Speaking of the end, it is quite drastic and unexpected, but overall I quite enjoyed reading this book.